Now Ethan has donned his gown and all that stuff, his PPE. He's taking care of the patient. Now it's time to leave. And if the patient has an anteroom where we've taken the patient, transferred the patient, and they put him in a negative pressure room, then they're going to have an anteroom. And we can do this stuff in the anteroom. But if there's not, if it's just a regular room or an ER, we're going to take off the gown and gloves inside the room next to the doorway, place it in the trash, step out, take off our mask and our gloves out there. Now this is, our donning was MEGG, M-E-G-G, mask, eyewear, gown, gloves. It's just opposite when we doff. So it'll be gown, gloves, then we'll step out of the doorway, perform our hand hygiene, and I'm gonna re-glove, Ethan's gonna re-glove, take his eyewear and his mask off, because the outside of those can be contaminated, so we don't wanna touch those with our bare hands. So that is what, and this, doffing our gloves, doffing our PPE is where we have a very big chance to aerosolize that pathogen, that COVID pathogen, or SARS-CoV-2, sorry. So if you snap your gloves or if you make a rapid movement, it's gonna aerosolize the contaminants that are on your PPE. So be very, very careful in taking off your PPE. When you aerosolize it, that's when you breathe it in. So this pathogen, COVID, can be aerosolized, and we can breathe it in if we aerosolize it as well. So be very, very careful. So this is the opposite of our donning, and it's GGEM, so GEM. So MEG was our donning, and the opposite is the doffing. So first, inside the room by the doorway, Ethan is going to take off his gown, and he's going to do it by crossing his hands. Don't touch your regular clothes, and just pull this down very carefully. She's so strong. Just don't touch.
Oh my God.
Keep going. And then pull it off you. Don't touch yourself. There you go. Pull it off. Be very careful. So that didn't go as planned, but sometimes it doesn't. You just got to know what you're doing. Nope, nope, nope. Start rolling. So now Ethan's going to start rolling the gown up into his gloves. And then slide his gloves off carefully, not to aerosolize. And don't touch, yep, there you go. He's leaning over the trash as well. Good. Now he's gonna step out of the doorway. So he just stepped out. He's gonna perform hand hygiene again. And then he's gonna don some clean gloves. So you'll have to wait for just a second while your hands sanitizer dries. After he re-gloves, he's gonna take off his goggles, and remember, these are contaminated, so that's why we put our gloves on. His goggles, and then his mask. Our goggles and mask or the mask at least, needs to go right into the paper bag. The eyewear is gonna have to be decontaminated. If this is an N95 positive patient, we're not gonna put it in the paper bag, we're going to put it in the trash. So if we've done a positive patient, we're putting the mask in the trash. So first is our eyewear, and then we're gonna put it on the table so that we can clean them. And then he's carefully going to take off his mask, and again, you need to make sure that you don't flip it. So there you go. See how we pulled it over, and then that would go right into the trash if it was a COVID positive. All right, so now he can take his gloves off. And then perform hand hygiene, and when he's ready to clean his goggles, he can put on more gloves and use those gray top Sani wipes and clean the goggles. All right, we're going to put some helps up in the stations to help us remember this stuff. Thank you.